Mr. Cummings, tell us why you're here today.
Right now, I'm here to break the stereotypes that all black people are criminals, all black people are thugs, and all black people are out to kill one another and everyone else around here. Just because we are young and black don't put us in the box as everyone else. We're out here trying to make a difference. We're out here trying to live our lives. We're out here trying to be good citizens and make a contribution to society. But right now, society has been conditioned to view us as anything outside of success. We are viewed as savages. That's the language that's been used. We are viewed as thugs. That's the language that's been used. We are viewed as animals. That's the language that's been used. And anytime one of us get gunned down or get stopped by the police, the first thing society does is try to find a record or something derogatory towards the victim to justify why the victim has been killed. And we are here to stop that. We are here to break those stereotypes. And just because we say Black Lives Matter doesn't mean that we are casting all lives to the side. All lives do matter. But black lives are the ones that are being systematically gunned down. Black lives are the ones that are being killed and there are no repercussions for it. We're tired of it.
The people that I've spoken here today at the rally, here today, have referred to stereotypes.
Absolutely.
Can you, me not being a person of color, I don't understand that. I don't know what that feels like. Can you help us at least put into some type of words what that stereotype feels like for a black person in America?
A stereotype feels like the world has judged you before they even know you. Dr. King said you judge a man by the content of his character, not the color of his skin. But society doesn't want to know your character. They've been conditioned to view you as somebody that's inferior. I'm black. I go to work every day. I work weekends, I work holidays, I work nights. But the conversations that I get in with people outside of my community view me as somebody looking for a handout, automatic. I'm unemployed, automatic. I got 35 baby mamas, automatically. I've been with my wife since high school. I'm 37 years old. Been with my wife since I was 16 years old. We have 2 kids together. We are homeowners. I'm ex-military. I'm a veteran. I am not a stereotype. Don't place me in that box. I don't know too many people, and yes, we do have folks that live up to those expectations, but that's just a small piece of the pie. That doesn't define us all.
Let me ask you, you refer to your military experience. What branch did you serve in?
I was in the Navy.
You're in the Navy. How long did you serve for?
I served 8 years in the United States Navy.
Okay. Let me ask you, just to kind of go off on another angle here. Did you also experience the stereotype in the military?
When I was in the military, I did not experience any stereotypes. We were all one family. We all stood for a common cause, and we all took care of each other. We all loved each other. Some of my best friends that I call my brothers and sisters right now are white. They are Muslim. They are Mexican. They are Puerto Rican. They are from every nationality and every religion that you can think of. And we don't see each other as colors or what God you serve. We see each other as brothers and sisters. But the sad thing about it, when you come back into the world, you have to deal with those issues, those stereotypes.
And where are you from now?
I'm from Jackson, Mississippi.
From Jackson. What do you do? What's your job?
I'm a security officer.
Okay. You're not an actual police officer.
No, I'm not police.
You're just a security?
Yes.
Okay, I won't ask you where you provide security or what company you work for. But let me ask you, being a security officer, okay, and seeing video on social media or through television or even on the internet of officer-involved shootings, what goes through your mind?
I wear a gun, a badge, and a vest every day when I go to work. And just like law enforcement officers, your main objective at the end of the day is to go home to your family. And regardless of whether you are a police officer or a security officer, if someone hates that uniform and hates what that uniform stands for, they're not going to ask you, who do you work for, what department you work for. They're going to come after you. So I have to have the same mindset as someone on patrol every day in a police car riding the city. You know, I want to go home to my family as well. When the tragic situation that happened yesterday in Dallas, it broke me down to my knees. Because even though I don't know those officers, we're still brothers and sisters in service. You know, it's tragic. It's hard to speak on it because I think that could have been me. That could be me. You know, what's gonna happen to my 4-year-old son and my 14-year-old daughter or my wife if that was me? You know, we have to look at things in a different way. The loss of life at any cost is tragic. The loss of life is tragic. You can get your message out. You can get people to understand and respect your message without killing people. Stop killing people. And that goes for us as a community. That goes for people outside of the black community. Stop killing each other. Understand that people have different views. People have difference of opinions. That's what makes this country so great. The differences that we have, but we all come together as one. But killing is not going to solve anything right now. We have to stop it.
Thank you very much for your time. I do appreciate it.
I appreciate you.
Why do you feel that it was important to come out here and stand with Albany?
In all honesty, I think it's long overdue for me to be out here standing with Albany and with all the other people who've been murdered, not just by police, but really by vigilante people. People who take the time to be judge, jury, and executioner. And I think that it was overdue time for me to come out and to stand against this. It's the kind of thing that I can talk about at home. I talk about it at church where I minister. I talk about it with my students. But what sort of example do I set for them if I tell them to stand up for their rights, if I tell them to be good citizens and do all these positive things, but they don't see me out here working for their livelihood and for them to be able to be productive citizens and not be murdered by someone who feels threatened or what have you. So I felt it was my responsibility to stand up and to do the very same things I instruct my students to do on a daily basis.
You're a teacher.
I am.
Where do you teach?
I teach at Crystal Springs Middle School.
Okay. So just kind of tell me, what has kind of just went through your mind just the past couple of days, just so many killings this week.
There have been a myriad of things going through my mind just this week alone, but in general, there's been anger, obviously disgust. I think I share a lot of the same sadness and sentiment that most people do. I think there are several things that have frustrated me in this entire situation. One of those being there are so many good officers out there who do their jobs and who do them well, but these hateful officers, these that kind of take the law into their own hands and really go way beyond the scope of their duties, those are the ones that we don't forget. I have yet to meet an African-American person above the age of 10, 11, or 12 who has not had an incident like this with police where there was the worry, what if I don't walk away from this? I myself was unlawfully detained by police where I'm from in Denver, Colorado. So this isn't a thing that just happens in Mississippi or just in Albany or just in Minnesota or anywhere else. This happens all over the United States. And it's not anything that's brand new. It's just something that in the past few years we can catch on videotape and catch snippets of what's been going on here in our reality for the last century.
And last night, there was,
Black Lives Matter.
11 officers who were injured, 5 killed. There was the protest was peaceful. It started out peaceful, and it ended, in violence. What do you have to say about that as far as?
I will say without hesitation that I'm against all forms of violence. I hate the phrase senseless acts of violence as if there were some that we could justify as having been sensible. I think in all reality, for me, I would not okay that. And I would say I have such disdain for people who take the time and who go and I support of I suppose, repay violence with violence. I feel like you can't mimic the oppressor and then say, we're better than you are and we've done the exact same things that you have. I will say, however, that peaceful protests, marching, rallying, petitioning, and a lot of the legal things and a lot of the regular things that we do to bring attention and awareness and hopefully change to our situation haven't yielded the types of results that we've been looking for. So it stands to reason that people would say this is our only option. Do I think it's the only option? Absolutely not. But I can completely understand how people would take that sort of next step and say this is what has to happen. No problem.